There have been so many new things added to FC25 in the last 24 hours, and today we're going to cover all of them, starting with the new player pick animation. As you can see, this is brand new. If you're a streamer with an audience, you can milk these much longer now because you can open them one at a time, which does add extra buttons to opening 100 player picks. If that is your goal, to open a lot of player picks, then, well, this is definitely more annoying because not only do you have to click the item, but you also have to confirm the pick, and then you have to click yes to confirm that pick, which is not ideal if you're somebody who just wants to rip this pack open quickly. Now, if you do click triangle or whatever it is, I think Y on Xbox, then it does reveal all of them at once, still much slower than what it was. I don't know if I love this. I think it is cool. If you're opening a big player pick, like an 87 plus player pick, that's something I like. But if you're opening these 77 pluses over and over and over again, it gets old kind of quickly. But it's not the only new thing that's been added to FC25. So today we're going to cover that. And as always, if you need some extra coins, check out LootBar. Not only are they already cheaper than the other platforms, but when you use my code Nitro, you're going to get another 8% off of that, and 5% more coins than what you bought. You can even buy specific players on their site now too. It has great reviews, big creators use it, and you get your coins within a few minutes. So if you need quick coins, LootBar is the place to go. In yesterday's video, we talked about Black Friday, how it's just around the corner. It's really just a week and a half away, but that the Black Friday market crash normally happens before that. A lot of the time, it's the week leading up to it. But this year, it seems to be hitting maybe a little bit earlier than normal. Because if we take a look over on futbin, well, yesterday on a Monday, just casually on a Monday, we saw a pretty big drop during the day. Now, this doesn't tell the whole story because we did see a rebound and some of the market did rise up, but not higher than what it was on Sunday. And that's very weird to see this drop on Monday, because even from here to there, that is not normal, and then that is even more not normal for that to happen. The market is low right now in comparison to normal Mondays, because as you can see, going from Sunday to Monday, normally a pretty big rise. Every single week we see a nice rise. Sunday to Monday goes up, right? Goes up from Sunday to Monday, and then it stays stable on Tuesday pretty consistently over the course of the entire FC25 cycle so far. But we didn't go too hard on investments this time around because of the fact that Black Friday is just around the corner. I did buy this Inigo Martinez. I lost coins on him. I also bought Diaby, who I made coins on him. Overall, not a ton of profit, but we'll take it when the market is going down and you don't lose any coins. That's still a dub, because even though you don't go up in coins, everything on the market gets cheaper, so it feels like you have more coins. So that's one plus that we can take away from it. But obviously that Diaby went up in price and we were able to make, he did go up 30,000 coins. A lot of that was because of the Aubameyang SBC that dropped yesterday. Aubameyang ended up being pretty good value if I can find him in this absolute sea of players. There he is right there. It's a flashback Aubameyang. He's obviously in the Saudi league. So Saudi links went up in price. Diaby is one of those cards that went up. It's not a bad card. Good value overall. It's just tough to link. I mean, obviously Gabon, not the easiest country to link with. The Saudi league has a couple usable players like Diaby, like Milinkovic-Savic, like that Ibanez SBC if you did that about a month ago, but not a ton to link with in the Saudi league. So a lot of people are going out, they're getting, Gabon managers, they're getting as many Saudi links as they can to link them. But that's the reason that Diaby went up. The rest of the promo for these track stars pretty much went down in price, which is against the trend of what we've seen from every single promo so far this year. Now, I'm not saying that they've normally been the cheapest on Sunday and rise a ton on Monday and Tuesday, but they always go up at least a little bit. And that is not the case this week. I don't know if it'll be the case next week either, but we do know what's coming next week now. It's not confirmed that it will be this promo, but we know it's going to be one of these promos because we have so many leaked cards. So let me go ahead and show you some of these new card designs added to the database. And one of these is obviously that purple card for FC Pro. We've talked about this already. We know that it's going to be a live card. It's going to be attached to the FC Pro FC 25 players who qualify for the event. And then they're going to have an FC Pro card in the game attached to how they perform in the esport. But just yesterday, we also got a leaked Thunderstruck card. Thunderstruck and the Thunderstruck icon. On top of that, Winter Wildcards and the Winter Wildcards icon. If you guys recall, Thunderstruck from last year was a pretty good promo because it really made the league games, which had never been too much of a focus for live dynamic cards in FC before or Ultimate Team before. It was the first time where it's like the league games actually mattered. Most of the time, like Road to the Knockouts, Road to the Final, it's all Champions League matches that mattered. This introduced the league games to giving upgrades to players. And so for these guys like Bernardo Silva, he only ended up getting one win out of the 3 matches that they had to get upgrades. So he got one inform upgrade. And if you take a look at how his card reacted to that upgrade, as you can see, while he was in packs, he dropped. And this was during the Black Friday promo. So this was the promo that was out during Black Friday. So I'm going to give you my prediction on how these promos are going to drop now, because I think that it's going to be the exact same thing this year. I think that they're going to drop Thunderstruck on Black Friday. And if you guys don't know when Black Friday is, watch my last video. It'll describe Black Friday in depth, but it's on November 29th. So not this upcoming Friday, but the next one, a week and a half away. November 29th. Is the day that Black Friday is going to happen. I think that's exactly when these Thunderstruck cards are going to drop, that and the icon cards there. So what's going to come this Friday? Well, I think this Friday is going to be the FC Pro Live. And that would make sense, guys. That would make sense because this would be a 1-week promo. It would mean that Track Stars is a 1-week promo, which would make a ton of sense because we don't need another week of 30 more ridiculously pacey players. And then Thunderstruck dropping exactly the same time as it did last year. It just adds up for that to happen. So I think that's how EA are going to drop the promos over the next couple of weeks. And so you guys can prepare for that accordingly. Make your predictions on what card you think might get into these promos. These are kind of the promos that don't really represent exactly, how they've been playing during the year. Like, the cards that you get for some of the promos, especially like Team of the Week, it's depending on performance. Trailblazers dependent on performance. I don't really think Thunderstruck is going to have that much correlation, but maybe they'll go for cards that haven't gotten too many upgrades this year. I think a lot of people really are thinking Rashford is due for a promo card. He's only 81 rated. Obviously, he's been very active with the evolutions, but hasn't got enough promo card yet this year. And so a lot of people are thinking he gets into Thunderstruck. Let me know your predictions down below. And another reason that these next couple promos look so crazy, on top of the fact that we're going to get the FC Pro Live and Thunderstruck, they're going to be dynamic, upgradable cards that are super awesome to trade with, but we also have card designs like this one that have been leaked to the game, and this one that have been leaked to the game, and this one, and also this one, which isn't, honestly, that one's kind of ugly, but there's a couple cool ones in here. One thing to take note of, despite the fact that we do have a couple of these that are like the yellow one, the red one, pink, I don't know, and then this purple and green one. This one, the green one, it's slightly different design. You can see that triangle in the middle of all 3 of those cards. This one's a different design. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but it has been added to the database, and we don't have much info on what these cards are going to be quite yet. But if they come out at the exact same time that we're also going to see FC Pro Live or Thunderstruck or even Winter Wildcards, it could make for a lot of things to do on FC 25 during this time period. Let's get back to the market, because we did talk about how the market normally rises on Mondays and Tuesdays, and it's not exactly happening this week. The cards are the same price, if not lower. If you take a look at cards on the market right now, we'll just go ahead and look at futbin on the main page. Let's take a look at a card like Theo Hernandez right here. He's a card that has been pretty deadlocked at 400K. He's one of the best cards in the game. Everybody loves to use him. He seems super tough to pack, yet over the course of the last couple of hours, you can see this card went from that 400,000 coins that we saw on the weekend, 390K on Sunday, and then early Monday morning, he goes from 370 all the way down to 293. Now, when you drop that much on a day where it doesn't really make sense for the card to drop that much, there was obviously going to be a rebound, but this card is still low. It's 330. And do I think you should invest in it? I think it's very risky because I think that these cards are going to be on their way down. If we take a look at last year on Black Friday, these cards didn't crash to their very lowest points until we got into actually December, but it's not going to be pretty. It's not like these cards are going to hold this value. It's not like Theo Hernandez is going to be 400K again, ever. I don't think he's ever going to get back up to 400K. I'd be surprised if he hits 380. I think this card is more likely to go under 300K again over the course of the next 2 weeks. And by, let's say, December 10th, he'll be 90K. So it's not a great long-term hold. This card over the course of the next month is going to plummet in price. And it's not just him. Every single meta gold card is probably going to follow a very similar path, unless you're somebody like Kylian Mbappe. He's always an outlier because he's spectacular for months on end, but even him, he wasn't immune to the drop. I don't even know if we should call this a market crash. Maybe we do. This is like the first bit of the Black Friday market crash. He went from 2.8 million to 2.3, 2.4 roughly, which is exactly what he's sitting at right now. 400K on a Monday, it's just weird. And obviously we uploaded a video yesterday and I advised you guys that over the course of the next couple of days, it might be a good time to sell. We don't get that many views on our videos. Maybe if you dropped a like on the video right now, it would help this video do better. But let's be honest, a few thousand views on a video isn't going to do this to the market. So it's just really the Black Friday market crash is starting. And this pre-crash, a lot of the times can get even lower than the actual crash. So as we get closer to Black Friday, we're going to come back to some of these cards and say, maybe we buy on Division Rival Rewards the Thursday before Black Friday, because I think that could be a low point. Now, we don't know exactly what's going to happen on Black Friday, but if the prices get low enough, we do know there's a big coin injection into the market on Black Friday. More buying power means higher prices for any of the usable metas. And obviously the power curve, it's still changing, and so we have to be ready for that as well. Quick fodder update before we hop into my idea for trading with metas this week. You don't want to miss that, but these 83 and 84 rated cards, maybe even 85s, 86s, could end up being very, very good return on investment percentages in terms of making the most amount of profit per card. This is probably where you want to be at, because 83 rated, if you take a look at, even players like Koke, who are 900 coins, that's the lowest they can go. These cards, at 900 coins, that's as low as they can go. You can get them for 850. It's not like they've only been sitting at 900. This card spikes up, and last week he spiked up all the way to 1,800 coins, basically doubling your coins. If you invested 7 million coins into 83 rateds, you would have doubled your 7 million coins to 14 million. Now, am I going to go out and do that with my 7.4 million coins? Probably not. I just do not want to put in that kind of work for my profit. I would rather flip really high risk cards, and if I lose, I lose, but at least it gets the dopamine going, right? Just doesn't do it for me like, the fodder doesn't do it for me like that, but it's still very, very cheap. And what you've got to think about is EA kind of want fodder to be more expensive, because if somebody goes out and they spend FC points, or they're thinking about spending FC points, but they're not packing any of the Thunderstrucks, they're not packing any of the best of players if they do that during Black Friday this year, they're not packing any huge walkouts for the gold cards, then they're still going to be getting 83 and 84 rated cards. And if those cards are expensive or usable for SBCs, then there's a silver lining and it keeps people engaged with the packs. And if people aren't engaged with the packs and not spending money, then EA make less money and they don't like that. So I think that they're going to do their best to try to push some of the fodder cards up, and even some of the higher rated fodder like 89. At 18,000 coins, you have to question, how much lower can it actually go? It can't be that much. Take that with a grain of salt. I've said that before, and then they go lower. So just be careful. But these cards still very, very low, and it's inevitable that they'll pop at some point over the next couple of weeks. But let's go ahead and talk about the current market, because right now, obviously with low prices on a Monday and Tuesday, it's unprecedented. We can't look back to an earlier promo and say, okay, this is when they were low and this is when they were high. So we've got to be a little bit more creative and think ahead. If these cards go super, super low on Tuesday and Wednesday, then how much are these cards going to bounce back at Division Rival Rewards on Thursday? It could be a huge rise in price at Division Rival Rewards. Now, these cards are in packs, and so maybe a little bit less of a jump on them than what you would see for cards like Mohamed Salah or Jude Bellingham, as they're in packs, but they go out of packs on Wednesday. We could see a nice jump from them. But even for cards that were in previous promos, I mean, Centurions right here, these cards still dropped today. Take a look at Luka Modric maybe. Let's go ahead and use him as an example. This card has been out of packs for a little while now. He was 614,000 coins. He is now 500K. He dropped 500K yesterday. Could we see a rebound on Thursday? And I think the answer is yes, but I don't think that we buy during Division Rival Rewards. I think we buy a little bit sooner. So if the cards go super low on Tuesday, which it would be weird because Tuesday is normally like the most stable day on the market, if they go super low on Tuesday, you could even think about picking up, but I think these cards are probably going to be the cheapest on Wednesday, early Wednesday, and that's probably when we buy. I don't think that you want to be holding these cards up until Friday. I think that's a disaster, and I don't even know if you want to hold until late Thursday. These are quick flips, and nobody wants to be holding any high-rated metas or good cards that are expensive at the current moment for a long time. Anything that you buy right now, for the most part, unless it's fodder like we talked about, is not a long-term hold. You don't want to be good at getting in on 1 week investments right now, 2 week investments. It's cards that you're going to be able to flip within 24 hours. That's the idea. So I think that Wednesday is going to be the buy point for a lot of these out-of-pack cards that have dropped in price over the course of the last day. And even for cards that are like gold cards, Son, Rafael Leao, Saliba. These cards are still able to be flipped, but you have to understand they are going to be on a downward spiral. These cards that have held their value so well, like Rafael Leao, are not going to be, 380K at all for the rest of the year. 380K is what he was a little over a week ago. He'll never hit that again. He was about 300,000 coins just 2 days ago. He's never going to be that price again. His graph is going to look like this. It's just going down. It's just about timing those low points and then selling at that high point before he crashes again. And so that's how you trade with those gold cards. It's not really going to be long-term holds once again, because over time the cards will drop. But it's about finding those low points. And with the market so low right now, with everything crashing so hard, we are due for some sort of rebound later this week. I think they hit their low point on Wednesday. I think we sell on Thursday, maybe Thursday night, and that's going to be the move. I think that's how we're going to make our profits, but don't go too crazy, because again, very dangerous time in the market right now. A lot of people are about to lose some coins. Don't let that be you. Be safe with your coins, and if you don't know what to do with your coins, just be liquid, because if the price of cards drop a ton and you have the exact same amount of coins, then you have more buying power, even if you don't have more coins. So I'll leave you guys with that. Drop a like on today's video if you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to Nitro Gaming for the next video, which will be out tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then. Peace out.